While millions of people are screaming at their TVs, painting their faces, and emotionally destroyed because 11 strangers lost a game, there's a massive group of people who just don't care. And according to neuroscience, their brains might actually be wired differently. Stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you will completely change how you see the sports-obsessed people in your life. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Not caring about sports doesn't make you boring. It doesn't mean you lack passion, and it definitely doesn't mean something's wrong with you. But there is something fascinating happening in your brain that's completely different from the 60% of Americans who follow sports religiously. Let's start with the obvious question. Why do so many people care so much? Humans are tribal creatures. For thousands of years, being part of a group meant survival. Your tribe protected you from predators, helped you hunt, kept you alive. And sports? They're basically modern tribes with better merchandise. When someone watches their team, their brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, the same chemical that makes you love your family. Wild, right? Their brain literally tricks them into thinking these millionaire athletes are part of their clan. But here's where it gets interesting. People who don't obsess over sports often have what psychologists call lower tribal instincts. Their identity isn't as strongly tied to being part of a group. They're more individualistic. They're more likely to say, I don't need to belong to something bigger to feel complete. And there's actual research on this. A 2019 study found that people with low sports interest showed way less us versus them thinking. Translation, they don't automatically hate the other team just because they're not on their side. But wait, it gets weirder. Because what happens in the brain of a sports fanatic during a game is legitimately concerning. You know that feeling when you're about to open a present? That anticipation? That's dopamine firing in your brain. Sports fans get that same hit during games. Every play, every possession. Constant microdoses of anticipation and reward. It's literally addictive. Studies using fMRI scans show that watching your team activates the same reward centers as gambling and other highly compelling activities. And here's the kicker. The uncertainty is what makes it so powerful. You don't know if your team will win. That unpredictability keeps the dopamine flowing. It's intermittent reinforcement, the most addictive reward schedule known to psychology, the same principle that makes slot machines so effective. The mechanism is eerily similar to other forms of behavioral addiction. Your brain doesn't distinguish much between different sources of dopamine, it just knows it wants more. People who don't care about sports, their dopamine